everyone, welcome to a new video. I'm the Autistic Artist and this video is for the neurotypicals out here, but also for the neurodiverse, because my plan is to talk about how to help us autistics. So first things first, I would love for it to be a community thing. So to everyone watching who is autistic, I would love to hear your ideas or your opinions, things that helped you when neurotypicals do them. I will do my best to add all that I can think of, but I'd love to hear your thoughts too. And for the neurotypicals here, ask me if you have any questions in the comments. I'm trying my best to think of all of them, and I hope you get what I mean. Yeah. And today we will talk about if you find out that a friend is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder and you want to help them, how you can do this. As most of these videos are, I think it's important to include the whole community because I'm just one autistic person. So to everyone who's autistic watching, what helped you when you started this whole autism path, when you got your diagnosis, what helped you a lot, what was not so good, and everything about that. Let me know in the comments, leave suggestions for neurotypicals watching this video, and yeah, also for like friends who just want to help out and don't know if they're neurotypical, neurodiverse. You're welcome. You are all welcome here, of course. So there are some main things that clash onto you when you get the diagnosis. First, you're usually happy because you now know where you belong to, and it's this freeing feeling. Second, you're reminded of all of those stereotypical things, and you feel intimidated, feel like you can't do the things you planned for your life. And third thing, you have all these problems who you may have now an answer for, but don't know how to solve them, and you're new to this whole autism thing and don't know what to do and how to manage being autistic. So starting with the first thing, being happy, supporting your friend is the best thing for that. So when the person tells you about that and is super happy, then being like, awesome, I'm so happy for you that you now have the diagnosis. I know how freeing it is. I think just watching all of my videos will tell you that. Then throw out your info, tell them that you support them, that you are interested, that they can tell you everything, what feels good for you, tell them. First thing, show them your support and tell them that that's a great thing, and don't throw onto them all of those. But can you have kids now? Can you marry? What does it mean? Those things will come soon enough. If they then come and the person comes to you, then one of the most helpful sentences I heard is, but you are still you. That's just a label to help you and not something to tell you how you have to live. That was super helpful to me, so reminding them of those things, super important. And reminding them that they still can do what they want. Some things take different paths to get there than neurotypicals take them, but there's a way and they will find their own way and you will support them. That will make things way easier for them. Then to the next thing, they're jumping into this new world. So I do have channels linked of autistic people who also do YouTube, and giving those resources to them is probably super helpful. It was super helpful for me. and a lot of people. There are TikToks from autistic people, there are YouTube videos from autistic people. That my channel may be a start, something to start there. That's why I do link things like that. And a super important resource is also a Discord channel that I am part of, a Discord group called Planet Aspi, where you can get there if you speak English or if you speak German. And they're trying to get more international, mainly they're German, but speaking English is totally fine there. They have any forms of support, like you can chat with them, you can write them, you can do anything you want. They have regular events happening, they have special places to just find friends, to get rid of problems that you have to find someone who likes your special interest, anything. Basically they are super resource and always linked in my bio, so that resource might help them a lot too. So the next point is resources, basically. And then we will get to them getting help. Sometimes the people will come to you newly diagnosed by a professional, and that means they started to get help somewhere, so they maybe are starting to build a help system for them. So maybe they're starting to build like a kind of safety net for them. What you can encourage that and remind them of how helpful therapy can be. There are groups out there like group therapy, some enjoy that more. That there are so many different versions of therapy. Music therapy, just talking, not talking at all, having like therapy where you create artworks and just talk about how you feel. There's so many different ways of therapy, writing, just texting, just speaking, any form. So that's also a great thing, and googling therapists with experience with autistics may be super helpful too. So reminding them of getting help, building a safety net is a super important thing. And the last point that I think is also very important is like kind of safety plan, I would call it, or emergency plan. So what is an emergency plan? I did that just to know what to do when I don't feel good, when things happen where I don't feel comfortable with, where I get in meltdowns and everything. Because having that thing makes you feel a lot safer. Like imagine you are climbing onto a tree. If you have like a safety net or something that will catch you if you fall, you feel way better climbing the tree than if you don't have that. So that's why it's also with your emergency plan. And B, you can have some resource in your hand, also as a friend, to help them, remind them of their emergencies, and they also have something in their head they can think of, because usually when that happens, that emergency, your mind is not immediate to what you learned while you were healthy and happy. So that plan is super helpful. And that plan is kind of starting with some easy things that give you comfort. Go to things that helped you when things got worse, like for example a plan of good things that you learned about your struggle, how to get along with your struggle, strategies you learned. Basically just things they help, and from starting with easy things like trying meditation, trying yoga, going for a walk, to calling your therapist, onto like last resources, like for example going to the hospital. Those can be different for people living in different countries, or for just people and what helps them. Some benefit from group therapy, talking to friends. Some benefit only from hospitals. Some have special meds that they can take. things like that. Maybe they have like CBD oil that they, for example, that's not a recommendation, like talk to your doctor, but CBD oil is something that helps often to calm down, but it's not like so strong that some people might need another emergency like tablet, or I don't know. So they maybe have like other stronger medication that they can take in those scenarios. And that is also something you can then keep in mind when it's they're having a bad day. Maybe you can make that plan with them. That's a great idea. Maybe they make that alone and show it to you. Maybe you can just talk about it. But that's a super important thing. And concluding on all talking about this, what they may need at that moment is knowing you support them, knowing you don't view them differently now, knowing that that you wanna help them, and that they will now have even more things, new possibilities lined up for them. There are resources specifically for autistic people who want to find work. There are so many resources built for autistic people. Organizations, please don't use Autism Speaks, horrible organization. Organizations, look for organizations where other autistic people tell you that they are great. For example, the Discord group I talked about is a great resource. Remind them of those things. And yeah, something I didn't understand at the beginning was that I have now more possibilities than I had earlier, because I didn't know what was keeping me from reaching my goals. Now I know that sometimes I just need to take a different path, that I need to remind of myself when I get overwhelmed, that I can ask for extra help for, like, for example, at university, that I have resources, and just for those resources to be in place, just for me to know that I'm not interested in that topic, but that I maybe need a different path to study that topic or to get into work, will help you immensely. And through that different path you will get great success, and you can fail and everything, but this diagnosis will only help you, I promise. And you don't have to tell anybody. You can tell anybody, you have the right to tell anybody, but you don't have to. And that's, you can live your life the same way you lived before, or you can change things however you feel comfortable with. This will not hold you back. That's a resource you now have in your pocket. So in my comfy clothes this time, favorite trousers, one of my favorite t-shirts. So let's talk about this. For me, I do not really get all the time when I start to overwhelm myself. The very first thing I do notice is me sweating like everywhere in my body, like even on parts like here. If I feel that, then I should know that it's too much and that I should stop. But I don't necessarily do that, because sometimes I'm so focused on something, just trying to get it done, that I just ignore that. Yeah. That and even earlier signs, I will then not notice or not do anything, and my plan is for my assistance dog to help me with that. One of the major things, actually. Also to save me when meltdowns and everything happen. So the number one thing would be, if I have an assistance dog, to support what he does. Don't disturb him at his work. So don't do things that would shift his consciousness. Don't do things that would shift his curiosity and would make him not listen to me anymore. As long as he's working. If I say he's not working now, then things are fine. Yeah. But number one thing is to listen to my dog, and when I say, oh, he's showing me signs that I'm overwhelmed, some of the things that I need when I get overwhelmed is less people, less noises, safe, comfortable place with not very many inputs, so maybe a closed curtain, low sensory input in general. And maybe you there, maybe you not there. The best thing is to say you can like go into this room and be alone for if you need it, and if you need me, you can call me in any time. And if you should make you something, then let me know. Like maybe bring a glass of water. That really helps. For example, for me with the sweating, I will get headache and things like that. So drinking water is helpful. Some have specific things that help them. A weighted blanket, if you have some. If we are at my home, you can bring me my weighted blanket. Letting them know what. So stuff like that can also be coupled with questions if you don't know that person, like what helps you in now, what can I do now, is a very helpful thing. And if you have an autistic friend, then it would be best to just talk about it when all are comfortable and nothing is happening. What can I do for you specifically if something happens and you need my help? What do you feel comfortable with? So that conversation at the beginning would be best, but if not, ask them, and if one of them is leave me alone for a little, or do that. Something that also helps me a lot is my favorite shows. For me, those are comfy shows like Big Bang Theory or Brooklyn Nine-Nine. How I Met Your Mother, definitely one of my favorites, and Modern Family, stuff like that. Those are shows that I watched 100 times, where I know what's going to happen, so no unpredictable sensory inputs, and something that gets my mind away from starting to overthink. That's so for me it would be, can I put on a show for you? Should we? Or even if you see, and I'm being like, I'm starting to get a little overwhelmed, you could suggest, how about we just go and watch a movie together, or go watch your favorite show and enjoy the rest of the day sitting on the couch or and in the bed or whatever. So a suggestion of doing my comfy stuff would be super helpful for me. That's something I then try to myself suggest, but it's a hard part getting there. And so if you do it, perfect. And then come to the next really important topic is don't make them feel like this is some strange thing they do, that you are not happy, that they aren't happy anymore, like in the sense of, why are you ruining my the vibe here, or how I feel today. Stuff like that will make us feel worse. But as someone who asked that question, I think we are there because you are trying to make them feel more comfortable and not trying to be mean like that. So what would help is like, don't worry, I'm fine, I just want to help you. Things like that happen, or, oh, I know, so this is happening, it's okay. I would love to watch a show anyway, and I'm exhausted too, or something like that, or I heard that, don't worry, it's okay for me. Things like that, perfect, because then I don't have to worry about you anymore, because when you are there, of course I want you to feel happy. Of course I want our friendship to stay, and I don't want to make anything that would make you feel uncomfortable or would make you think bad about me. So knowing that you don't do that, that you are completely okay with it, that you want to help me, those are all things which will take actually a huge load off from me. So we have to do comfy stuff for me and let me know that this is completely okay for you and that you are not mad at me or anything like that. The next thing is to make sure that we can get help if we need that. For example, I have some emergency medication with me, and I have my therapist, and I have, of course, my home where I have places that help me. This will also be a thing where you need to talk to your friend, even maybe in that situation, or maybe you have talked about it before. But if you do know those, it's already a great thing, because when I'm getting at a point where I'm like, I think I have to go to the hospital, I think I can't do this, then having someone with me that I trust, that wants to care for me, and that can bring me to the hospital, assure me that they are there for me, assure that they will take care of me when I can't, that's like the best thing I can think of. Or just taking me to therapy, bringing me home, things like that. Maybe like staying for a night if I need that, or if the person needs that. Those are all things, like, just realizing that you care make it so much better. On the other hand, it can be that you not being here will also be a great thing. So if they need some time alone, this is not because they are mad at you, this is just because you are also sensory input. So maybe even though they know that you aren't worried, minds can get mean, and minds can tell you that they are just embarrassed and super embarrassed and want you to be normal again, and that's why they try to say everything like that. And then you are still uncomfortable, so a moment to themselves might still help, or they just put on their earphones, listen to their favorite movies or music or whatever. So leaving them alone can be a great thing to. The easiest way is to just give both options. So do you want me to stay with me, or I can also go and do something I have to do anyways and check in on you in 10 minutes or something like that. With giving the option, you show that you won't be hurt in any way. You don't feel uncomfortable with staying with them, and you don't feel hurt if you're not staying with them. That you just know that they need some time and that it's nothing about you, it's just them worrying. That's super helpful. And when it comes to tools for meltdowns, it depends. If it's a newly diagnosed person, then watching this video is a super great thing. Then watching this video is a super great friend thing to do. You are such a special person and you will help them. I know that because you started to watch this video, and that's the best start. But usually we tend to have support things with us all the time. So bringing my bag will help me a lot. There are my mats in there, there are my comfy stuff in there are my headphones in there, there's everything I need in there. So bringing my stuff to me, super helpful. And do keep an eye out. I plan on making a video for what you can help your friend with when they are newly diagnosed. And that might be even helpful, but if they already have that stuff, they already talk to their therapist, just doing the things that I told you will be a great thing. Which brings us to the next point. They are therapists. Some have group therapy, some have no therapy, some have like a special person that we talk to about, some have a hospital where they can go to. There's somewhere most of them know that their safe place will be. And so, for example, reminding us of that, you can talk to your therapist, or where do you get help, or where would you feel comfortable now? What do you usually do now? Those questions are also a great thing. Important with all of those questions is, of course, you don't bombard them out there, but if you see that they don't get better after like telling them doing what they told you would help them now, then reminding them of where they get help next is a perfect thing. If they don't have that, then go to the video that I will come out later about how to help them when they are just diagnosed. But if that isn't already out there, a conversation before would be great. But if not, the hospital is always a place to go to if they feel very bad and you're super worried. If not, then you probably know where your friend is safest, and that's where you bring them to. The place where they will be safest. And if the place is you, then great, then they are already at a great point. Then being there for them, telling them that you will tackle this problem together is a great starting point. Usually meltdowns don't end with no consequences. They will end up in shutdowns or in super exhaustion, and when that happens, help will be the next thing to go to. So reminding them of have you talked to your therapist lately, or stuff like that would be great. And if there's no help other than that, getting some help would be the next step to do. But all in all, comfortable things for us, main thing, help we can get, main thing, our bag, main thing. And we usually do know what we need in those situations. And so the usual thing when you do those steps that I told you will already improve the situation. And it can be that with all of the stuff you did, things will get better in 10 minutes, and they are ready to, or feel capable of talking, for example, or having normal conversation, wording what they want to do now will be possible then at that point. And then listening is the next step to do. Listening and asking what you can do are the main things now. Some want to talk about what's happened. Some don't want to, don't force anything, but listening to what they want to do now is main thing. And something super important is the topic of getting help, because some things might feel unsafe to us. I don't know where you live, and I don't know how psychiatry is where you live. And while I do hope that it's a safe place, somewhere where you can go to, if nothing else helps, that may not be the case all the time. So if you suggest something and the reaction from your friend is like, no, oh god, no, please don't do that, then listening is super important here. Of course, we might need like nudge in the right direction, but if you know that you don't hear good things about the place and they're like, oh my god, no, that would be super bad for me, then instead ask what would be good for you. Is there a safe place? Or maybe just Google it if you can't find any other help. But usually there is a way, a place to go. There are support groups, organizations, stuff like that, where they can go. And if they feel comfortable again after the meltdown, because that's also something that happens and hopefully will happen the meantime, hopefully will happen most of the time, then don't press anything, because that's the main thing you would do in that situation. Also listen, because to me, for example, meltdowns are something that I'm used to. So I don't need to like call full danger mode and need to do everything. If I'm like, it's best for me to go home now, and I will get in touch with my therapist the next days. I thank you for your help. Then it's a great thing to do for me, and you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, no, we will bring you to the hospital right now. Of course, it's a hard time because you don't know. It's not easy, and I don't mean to say that it's easy. And if you worried for your friend, then it's a balance act you have to take. But listening is still the most important thing, because we live with that thing for our whole life and we've lived with it. So that's an important thing to remember. And the easiest way I can think of is to stay in touch. Let them know that you are there, and let them know that you will care for them, but you won't force them into anything, because force can make you just a dangerous person and can make us just want to destroy everything so you don't be a danger to us anymore. Yeah, I know that's a rough video, because I talked a lot about the parts that would happen if things don't work out, but please remember, most of the time the list will work. Like bringing them the bag, making them comfortable in a less sensory room, less sensory input room, like bedroom, for example, or I don't know, just a room that you know you have, or that is close, where it's calmer. Just a room that you know is calmer. And the next thing is like reminding them that they can get help, reminding them that you will help them, and letting them know that you are fine with this situation, that you care and that you want to help and that you're not mad at all. Those things are a great thing to do. That's it for my part. You can go into the comments and ask me if anything was unclear, and if you have like anything else, any scenario that I haven't thought of, if things go wrong in any way. And I hope my lovely community of autistic people will write things down if I forgot anything, or if they have any other topic or feel like that's something that really helps them. Would love to read that. This video is planned to help each other out, and so that's a great thing. Yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope we will see each other in my next video. You know the deal, you can subscribe, you know that already, you've been on YouTube before. If not, there's like a subscribe button and abonnieren in Germany, so click that, and you will stay connected to me. And yeah, if not, fine too. Have a great day and bye! To everyone from the community, add things and resources that you like. Those are super important. Thank you as a neurotypical person coming here. Thank you for listening. You are a great friend. And something I recently heard in a YouTube video that I really enjoyed was, know that to me, you all watching this, you are amazing. You're trying to improve lives, you are trying to figure out a new topic which can help other people. You're on a great path, you are amazing. The world needs people like you, so stay here with me. Yeah, and that's it. Bye! And okay, my computer needs to be put on to like charging soon, so I will do that now. Sorry. Phew. Save the day. Okay, so I was stopped because the SD card was full, but that won't stop me from talking about the last thing that is super important, and that is the safety plan, emergency plan. I think I talked about this before, so Monique, if I just say the same thing again, take the first thing, because that was kind of okay. Hi everyone, welcome to another video.